Do you find yourself stuck in a solo queue nightmare? I know, me too. Or maybe you're one of the players that's causing all of us to have a bad dream. That's perfectly fine. Not all of us may be good at this game, or some of us may be new to the game, and all of that is fine. The point of videos like this is to help us all improve. I often watch back my own gameplay videos and find that there are things that I could have done differently or should have done better, and all of that is okay. With over 200 hours in this game, I've developed a decent amount of advanced mechanics to help you improve your gameplay. Now, this isn't going to be one of those how to win every single game videos, because those are bullshit and there's no tip on the planet that's gonna make you win every single game. It's just not possible. But there are a lot of things that you may not be doing that can improve your gameplay, which I'm here to talk about. I often hear people say things about this game like, oh well, I suck at it because I can't aim that well. And that's perfectly fine. Evil Dead the game is not a game that requires a lot of advanced mechanical skill. A lot of the things you have to learn about this game have to do with game sense. Things that you're actively looking for in every second of your gameplay that you can improve on. Being aware of where the demon is, being aware of things like traps and locations and enemies. All of these things compile together second by second to help you become a better player. So, here's 5 advanced survivor tips you may or may not be using. Number 1, avoiding jump scares. Yeah, we just gotta pounce on these dudes. Hopefully they at least know to do that. I don't want to stand still, because yeah, I knew that was going to happen, a jump scare. This is a tip that I never really see players talking about. Avoiding jump scares at the right moment can completely change the flow of the game. Jump scares are great for the demon for many reasons. It increases their threat level, it gives them infernal energy, allowing them to spawn new waves or possess more units, and it increases characters' fear levels. But what I'm most concerned about is that it cancels whatever animation you're currently performing. Having a good sense of the game in these moments can absolutely change the outcome of a match. For example, you're trying to pick up a teammate who's downed, you get jump scared, as a result of that the demon gets infernal energy, they spawn more units, maybe they possess one and they attack you, now you can't pick up your teammate dies, and now you have to spend more time resurrecting that teammate at an altar, which in that time the demon is becoming stronger and stronger. Whereas if you just avoided that jump scare, you could have avoided that entire situation. Something that I like to do is I like to bait out jump scares. So for example, if I have a teammate who gets downed or a teammate who actually dies and I'm trying to get them to an altar, and I haven't seen a jump scare in a while, I may guess that I'm about to be hit with one, which is probably going to happen. So I like to either go for the animation of me picking up a teammate, or go for the animation of me resurrecting somebody, and then dodge and run out of the way, wasting the demon's jump scare. Now it is possible for the demon to cancel the jump scare if you move out of the way, but that then puts it on a 10-second cooldown, and there is no animations in this game that last for 10 seconds, which should give you the time that you need to do whatever it is you're trying to do. Overall, you want to mitigate the amount of jump scares you take in any given game. Keep in mind that the demon wants to continue to apply pressure to you. But in order to do this, they need infernal energy. So look for those moments when you think a jump scare may be coming. Usually after the demon spawns a lot of units, or after they have a pretty long possession, or maybe they down a survivor. Instead of the demon going to look for orbs to build up their infernal energy, it's highly possible that a jump scare may be coming. It's good in these instances to either bait one out, or just run around, do not stand still, to try to avoid them altogether. Number 2, live to fight another day.
Not to call you a coward, master, but sometimes cowards do survive.
Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you do not have to take every single fight that comes your way. You don't have to kill every single skeleton on the map. Sometimes it's better to just hop in a car and run away. Oh, he spawned the fucking boss on me. Okay, we're just gonna do this. That dude just wasted his boss. For the love of God and all that is holy, please stop fighting everything. It's not necessary. You don't have to do it. You don't have to kill every single unit on the map. You don't have to fight early possessions, even if you're at an objective and the demon is pressuring you, like at a map piece for example. Not really talking about places like the dagger or the pages because you have to be there, but if you're getting a page and the demon finds you and starts pressuring you, just go. You can always come back for it. But I feel like people forget in this game that the demon doesn't have unlimited resources, and neither do you. The point of this game, playing second by second, is to see who can waste the most amount of resources possible. So if the demon is pressuring you early game, hop in a car, drive away. The demon will either be forced to abandon his possession or possess the car, wasting resources which they will then have to refill. If you combine this with the first tip that I gave you by avoiding jump scares, you will find that you're in a chess match and seeing who can waste the other person's economy the most. And if you understand how to waste the demon's economy, then you can then continue moving on to do objectives. Way too often, I'll see that my team is trying to regroup and hop in a car to get to the next objective, and the demon spawns a couple units, and people get out of the car to fight them. I don't understand this. Please stop doing it. Number 3. What was that noise? You always want to be on the lookout for this noise. This sound means that something or someone has been possessed, and you'll notice that I turn my camera to find out where the threat is coming from. Being able to pick up on this sound and capitalize on it as quickly as possible is a mark of a decent player. It's somebody who's aware, who's paying attention, and knows what's going on around them. Possessed units deal more damage, possessed hunters who haven't dropped their weapon can wipe an entire team, and possessed trees skyrocket your fear and also do damage to you. How often have you been in a game and you hear the sound cue pop up and your team is absolutely oblivious to what's going on? Number 4. Know when you're in a combat event. Speaking of sounds, you want to get acquainted with this music. Now normally when you begin a match and you're running around looting or collecting map pieces, the game will randomly spawn anywhere from 1 to 2 enemies on you at any given time. But if you begin to hear the music that I just clipped, that means that you're in a, I don't know, I never really know what to call it, but I just call it a combat event. This means that the game has spawned anywhere from about 5 to 10 enemies on you, and it usually happens near map piece objectives or high loot areas like Dead End. It doesn't mean that the demon is on you or anything like that, and there's not too much to elaborate here. It just means that you should be aware that you're about to be swarmed by enemies so that you can change up your game plan, whether or not you're looting or collecting map pieces at the beginning of the game. Number 5. Loot after big fights. No, of course not.
I'm broke!
How many times have you been in this scenario? You finish one of the major objectives, the demon just finished kicking your ass, you have no heals, no ammunition, and your team just hops in a car, they're blowing the horn at you, trying to get to the next objective, knowing that none of you have any resources. This is okay in one scenario, and that's if you've collected all 3 map pieces, you've done an objective, and the demon is not that high level, maybe they're level 12 or 13, and they're not much of a threat, so you want to speed run the next objective. In that case, that's fine. Under those circumstances, you want to continue pressuring the demon before the demon continues getting stronger, and usually if you stop to do things like loot or your team is taking too long, the demon will continue to increase their threat level. Meanwhile, you could have just pressured them into the next objective, which they would have been forced to contest. But this is not always the case, and sometimes you're tapped for resources, and keep in mind, you can't win without resources, especially if the demon is high level or competent whatsoever. It's okay to take a detour to high loot areas like Dead End or Terminal Station or Misery Manor. It also helps to become more efficient at looting, grab what you need and go, because if you end up losing more than you gain, then it's not going to be worth it. However, if you can't survive looting a building, then you probably weren't going to win the match anyway. And there you have it, 5 advanced survivor tips that you may or may not be using. If you have any tips and tricks that you do, or things that you often see that people do not do and you want to talk about, please feel free to leave those in the comments. Also, if you agree or disagree with any of these, please feel free to also leave those in the comments. I do plan on making more content and guides for the Evil Dead, so if you're interested in that, please subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified of future videos. I also stream sometimes, but I do work full time, so it may be difficult, but if you're interested in catching a stream, link is in the description below. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and keep kicking evil in the nards.